Hi, everybody. It is now Friday, and I should be relaxing because I'm done with grading, but I'm actually just stressing out thinking about your AP exam, and I want to make sure you're ready. So I went through this 51 slide thingy-mabob that you have access to, but it made me feel better to go through it. And if you want, listen while I go through it. I'm not going to go through all 51 pages, but it should help highlight some of the important stuff. So let's get to it. So you're going to receive an e-ticket by email 2 days before, and each ticket will be unique for each exam you register for, and it's personalized for you. And you don't want to share it with anybody because you could lose your chance at a test. And you need to make sure your e-ticket email to save your May e-ticket email in case you need to make or take a makeup exam, and we'll get to that later. All right, this is a big chart, but basically what it says is that the Physics 1 test will be on Thursday, May 14th at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we should have a party afterwards, but we're far away from each other. Yes, I still owe you a breakfast. If you have to take the makeup exam, that is going to be on June 2nd at 2 p.m. So just highlighting that so you can not waste time. So what to expect on this year's exams? Like, look, it just sounds like it won't be any more difficult. It's still 3s, 4s, and 5s and stuff. But at the bottom, I've highlighted something that I keep rehearing. I hear like repeatedly on every webinar I go to. Don't worry if you don't complete all parts of the question. They purposely made it long. They don't expect you to be able to finish the entire question. So it's okay. Whatever it is, it is. You don't need to complete the entire question. If you do so and you keep doing that, you'll never upload and it'll count as a 0. Again, they have purposely made it long. They want to give you an opportunity. Like if you know what you're talking about, then answer even more stuff. That'll help your score. Otherwise, just do as best you can. So please, please, please don't worry if you don't complete all the parts in the question. Like stressing that a lot. All right, and then there's 3 ways you can submit your answers. You should get familiar with these. You can either copy and paste from one document into the actual test. You can attach a response, or you can upload photos of a handwritten response. So the first option is the copy paste, and basically what they suggest is doing a double window, one for the AP exam and one for something like Word or a Google Doc or Notes or whatever you're using. Here's the thing, they keep repeating in every webinar. You want to type your AP ID and initials at the top of each response. And that's like super important, apparently. They said they could do without it because it's still linked to your name and your e-ticket, but help them out. Anything that makes it easier, give you a better score, I guess. Maybe they're lenient. But they suggest a side-by-side window. And I do want to highlight this is when the timer has reached 5 minutes, copy and paste. Stop working when the timer says you have 5 minutes upload. Seriously, stop working. Just upload your work. Please, please, please. Don't waste time because if you don't upload, it's a 0. The other option is to create a document and submit it, but there's only certain documents you can submit. You can't submit a Google Doc, I don't think. But you can type your response. What does it say? Don't include. Yeah, it says don't include images. So apparently you're not going to be drawing pictures. Yeah, they said that on the last thing too. I also understand that you're not going to be drawing graphs, and I guess you're not going to be drawing FBDs, but you're experts at it. Same thing. Type your name and your initials. I'm sorry, your AP ID and your initials. And when there's 5 minutes left, you want to submit. And if you have 2 questions, again, you're going to have to submit 1 attachment for each question. And then there's the handwritten taking a picture. For those of you with really questionable handwriting, please just type your responses. Save yourself, save the reader. The reader does not care about you. If they can't read it, they won't. I've been told that by many readers. So please, if your handwriting is questionable, just type it. So again, you'll want to, if you're doing it on paper, you want to put your AP initials, the page number on each top, and you're allowed to do up to 5 photos per question, and you have to attach all of them before you submit, and they show you the acceptable forms of a file that you can submit. We don't care about these 2 things. Testing accommodations. Hey, if you get those, then you should have been in contact with them already. And it says here that you don't need to worry. Extended time will be provided through the online exam. So if you have extended time or any accommodations, that's on you. If you request a makeup, so say you have some issues on the day of the test, there's an AP makeup form. But if there's something that, what does it say? If you have an issue on exam day that prevents you from testing successfully, you'll be directed to the AP makeup testing request form. So check that out. You need your original e-ticket, and you have to submit the form within 48 hours of the actual exam. But they keep stressing, don't even bother calling. There's no one there. So you have to do this online. And they've talked about this in webinars. There's so many reasons. Like maybe you spill your drink and it hits your computer and it shorts out, or battery. If your battery's not charged, that's on you, but be careful. Power outages, technical disruptions, like whatever it is, they've thought of it. Trust me. So you just have to submit a makeup form. So there's some 5 easy steps here. They're going to go through each one. So reviewing your contact information. Just basically, you'll want to go and sign in, make sure everything's okay. And I think most of you are okay, because if you're receiving emails from AP, or College Board, then you're definitely okay. You definitely want to check your technical devices without question. You're not going to need a lockdown browser, but you do need to take care of Grammarly and shut it off. And I sent an email earlier about Westfield's Google Chrome account, that basically has some add-ons that, or plugins or extensions or whatever that's technical stuff is, that they can't deactivate and they can't get rid of. So you're going to want to be logged out of your Westfield account. That is my understanding. Otherwise, you won't be able to take the test. So you won't be required to submit graphs or diagrams. So we've been spending a lot of time on graphing. I know that. It's in your FRQs. I realize that. But being able to articulate why you would draw a graph a certain way, or the relationships that the graph shows, are just as valuable as drawing the graph. If you know how to draw it, then you should be able to explain why it is what it is. So I hope that practice is useful. And you should decide ahead of time what you're going to be doing. If you're doing anything with your computer, you're going to want to save as much as possible. And that's about it. There's 2 questions. So if you're creating, you have to create a document. If you're, what does it say here? If you're attaching rather than copying pasting, you need to create 2 different documents, one for each question. If you're writing it, again, maximum 5 pages per question, and you need to label them, definitely. Again, if your handwriting is questionable, why are you handwriting? Don't do that. So this is what I've been waiting for, is this practice submitting responses thing that's supposed to come out on May 4th, which I guess is what, Monday? So you should definitely be doing this. Practice, see what it's like. I mean, if you were to give a speech in front of a class, would you just walk up there and wing it, or would you practice it ahead of time? This is kind of like that. Don't just go up and try and take a test. Practice what you're going to do before you do it, and it'll be familiar, and that's one less thing you got to stress about. So on exam day, you need your ticket. Basically, you can read this on your own. I don't want to bore you to death, but read this. This is what you're going to need. You're required a table of information and formulas, which you can print out. I can send it to you again if you need it. And you're allowed a calculator. So optional resources, you can use class resources, class notes of this year's AP exams. You can basically use whatever you want. I love that you can use previous tests if you want. You can have them right next to you. But internet searches will be a waste of time. They say that that your answers are not really online. That's not the questions are written in a way that using the internet is useless. That's what they say. So, and obviously copying from websites or anywhere. Don't plagiarize. Don't get a 0. They're not lenient on that one. So on May 4th, you're going to want to look for your exam confirmation. Let's say, wait, sorry. Yeah. On May 4th, look for that exam confirmation, your AP ID, and a list of exams that you're registered for. And 2 days before the exam, you'll receive your personalized e-ticket. So on AP exam day checklist, they say you should have the checklist, and you can print it out if you want. And you definitely have to check in 30 minutes before your start. So on exam day, we're on the right here because we have 2 questions. You want to make sure you check in 30 minutes before. Use the e-ticket to check in. When you do this, it'll say the exam is starting in 30 minutes or 25 minutes. It'll tell you when it's starting, so you know you're ready to go as soon as it starts. And the exam will begin automatically. Now, this is the thing we really need to remember. You have 25 minutes for question 1. You read it, you respond. When that 25 minutes is up, there'll be a 5-minute clock that says you must upload. This is the moment you upload. Stop working. Please stop working, because if you don't start to submit in time, you're done. They don't care. And then the second question, 15 minutes and 5. Same thing. When it says time to upload, just upload. Your testing environment. Yeah, remove distractions and tell everybody in the house, hey, I'm taking an AP test. Be quiet. I need to concentrate. Also, you definitely want to make sure you have as much bandwidth as possible. Tell everybody to get off their devices, get off any gaming, get off your phone. You want the bandwidth. And the exam security. So they keep touting how they have all these ways of checking for cheating. They don't tell us what it is, and I can understand why, because they don't want to give things away. But please be aware that they're going to be identified in June and July, and basically they're going to scan each and every answer for plagiarism. They're going to share directly with their teachers to make sure that they didn't plagiarize. I don't know. Would I tell on you? For $2 million, no. The real issue, though, to be completely serious, is if you get caught, this is going to be reported to the colleges that you apply to. That's bad. And your AP scores will be canceled. So it's not worth the risk. You're geniuses anyway. You're going to do fine. So they kind of go through really quick what it's going to look like. I suggest you do this on your own. Again, answering the questions. I just want to highlight again, you got to turn Grammarly off if you have it, and you won't be able to move on to the second question until the first one is over. So like if you're done with the first, don't try to go to the second. You can't. Go back and check your work and see if there's anything that makes sense or you should change or whatever. But if they say the questions are going to be long, so sorry if it's windy. I'm outside. The questions are going to be long, so you may not be able to finish. Again, managing your time. They just read this. You're going to have 2 clocks. One that says time left to submit work, time left to submit work. When that hits 5 minutes, submit the work. Stop working. If you don't get it in time, you don't get it in credit. That's it. Losing track of time and submitting afterwards is not a reason. Like, they won't accept it. You've been told clearly. 5 minutes, start uploading. It'll take you that much time to get everything organized, copy, paste. So just do it. So this is one thing they keep talking about. As long as you hit the submit button before the time runs out, you're fine. Even if your computer continues to upload your responses while you move on to the second question. Your answer doesn't have to be fully uploaded during that time. Remember, there's tens of thousands of people trying to upload at the same time. So to the same place. Anyway, be aware, though, that you should not restart your computer until you get that confirmation that says your AP exam is complete. Like, if it's taking a while to upload, let it do its thing. So what could go wrong? A lot. They've thought of a lot. But the one thing they did say is, like, don't refresh your browser or hit the back arrow. Just stay on that same screen. And again, don't call. There's nobody there. You're going to have to fill out the form. As you can see here, there's a link. Yay, the colleges will take your credit. And that's about it. So this last thing is just checking your tech. Again, just be prepared ahead of time. Get everything ready ahead of time. They strongly suggested, I don't know where it is. Sorry, I could be wasting your time. But they did recommend getting these documents ahead of time. Like, if you know that you're going to have 2 questions, you would do AP Physics question 1.x, AP Physics 2, AP Physics 1 question 2.x. If you're doing it on paper, it's the same thing. Get everything ready ahead of time. Don't start creating these documents during the test. You want to have everything up front ready, and you need to decide, are you going to copy paste Are you going to attach a document? Or are you going to take pictures? Either way, get these documents ready ahead of time. That's about it. I've wasted enough of your time trying to enjoy the outside on a Friday. Please, if you have any questions, you need to let me know, because um, I'm stressing that you're stressing if you're stressing, and I want to help you out as best I can. So I hope this video saves you some time, even though it was boring as hell, and I hope you're all well. That rhymes. Take care.